We have to go back in time, Dylan, don't we?
Yeah.
There's no choice in the matter.
No.
Okay, it's part 2. It's myself and Dylan Foley, the archaeologist, who has a certificate. You have a certificate?
Yeah, well, I don't know where it is.
Now we got Dylan Foley out in Hazelwood, and absolutely beautiful day again.
So we're heading into the forest.
Okay. So why hasn't Yates County got their own museum?
Well, we've no museum, that's it. Tried to build one and we're going down to the end here, I think.
Yeah, I just want to get a look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Can you swim?
Thought you were going to drive into the lake. Sligo's castle.
Brilliant.
It's on a peninsula out into the lake. Hopefully we can get there.
Did you know that
This is all a bit uncertain.
Did you know that our people were once called the Woods people? And we lived in the woods.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've heard that.
And people used to think then we used to live in the woods, we just lived beside trees and all that. We had towns, we had cities in the woods.
That's it, yeah. This is an example of that, actually. This is.
Well, hopefully it's still out there. I'll show you some of the castles we had. They were
Yes.
made out of wood 400 or 500 years ago. Can you imagine there's actually people out there that study that kind of stuff in castles that don't exist?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just peninsula.
This is Half Moon Bay. Yeah, it's wrote a poem about this.
Do you know it?
No, but it's something like I went out to the Hazelwood because a fire was in my head, and hooked a berry to a thread. Caught a little silver trout, something like that. I can't remember the rest of it.
So he was a king fisherman.
Yeah. I don't have many images of him fishing, I have to say.
Have you seen the Pink Panther lately?
No.
Who lives in the woods?
3 bears.
No. Yeah, I must talk to you about that story one of the days. I must sit you down and tell you about that.
Hold on.
Bigfoot.
O'Connor. This one is belonging to O'Connor Sligo.
O'Connor Sligo.
O'Connor Sligo.
Right, and the last castle we were at.
They were the local chiefs.
The last castle we were at was O'Hare.
O'Hart.
And.
It was O'Connor Sligo. They were working for O'Connor Sligo.
Right, so this castle is connected to that one, is it?
Oh yeah, we're in the same country. We're in the same Tua.
Oh right, oh gotcha.
Yeah, different clans operate in different parts of it.
Yeah.
But this is direct O'Connor. Small territories. Each one is a little independent territory. And this one we're in is called Carber Drumcliff. And it's roughly from, say, like from Ballysadare up to the border there, so along there. So it could be that they built a platform to put the castle on or something. I'm not quite sure what it is.
This would be a similar type setup what we've seen on the far side, wouldn't we?
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
So it could be like a platform that the castle built on. I don't know if it's a castle wall or not. It doesn't look too good. It might be though.
Are you okay, my friend?
Careful there, yeah. So there's a nice section of wall. I don't know if it's castle wall itself is probably mortared. You know what I mean? I don't see that there, but dry stone not unusual in Irish fortifications either. You know. But I couldn't, without investigating, I wouldn't know whether this was just a wall along for the. Well, it was definitely old anyway. Whether it's
Yeah.
a retaining wall, do you know what I mean? Against the water, I'm guessing. I don't think that's the wall of the castle, but it's probably related to it.
Well, yeah.
It wouldn't be strong enough wall for the...
No, but look at it. I'm sure there was many walls before you come to the castle.
It shows you here at the edge. I thought at the edge we might find something.
Yeah.
Because the stuff in here is buried with all the trees on it. But if we were to dig, we'd find walls all over the place here.
Wow.
we'd probably find the big mortared walls of the actual castle itself. The castle itself is just a tower in the middle.
Yeah.
A tower house. We know that for sure.
So the foundations give you guys a very good indication of what the castle looked like and shaped
there's
like.
actually a drawing of when it was still a ruin, and you can see that half it's collapsed, but there was a section still a bit standing.
Wow.
So it was definitely a tower house. It was an typical Irish tower house. We go to one of them.
Why is yeah? Why is there very little or nothing about these particular sites, O'Connor's castles, and yet there seems to be a big deal about other castles, other areas?
The Gaelic castles were knocked down and erased, and quite often the estates they were on were incorporated into British estates. This is Hazelwood Estate. This would have been the seat of power in the area.
Yeah.
Under the English system as well, later.
So technically it's not their land. It's not the British land. It's not the Irish state's land either, when you think about it. I'm trying to get you into trouble or anything. Says the guy a minute ago, it's not about vengeance or revenge. No, but it's not. But
but that would be... It depends on what you regard as legal and what, those who, what do they call it?
Would our treaties be as legal as any British document?
Yeah, let's say force, at the end of the day, the one with the gun says what's legal.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
isn't that always...
should we buy guns, my friend?
Well, that was the way in the old days. See the stones out there? So it's kind of interesting. The guys in boats tell me that this castle doesn't just have the fences in the on the landward side. It has you can't approach it in a boat unless you know the exact route through. They've the stone. There's a
defence with stones.
all along here. So a boat can't come in.
Make perfect sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I know it says perfect sense now, but yeah.
Yeah. And our fishermen will tell you that. You have to actually know how to get a boat. I think there might be a little way in somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I've no doubt,
But you have to know it. So they made it so you can't actually even approach from the... obviously you can't get a boat in either, or else the castle will be vulnerable. Right, I'm walking off it. It's not very high on this side anymore, but...
I suppose when you're saying I'm walking up it, I'm walking off it, it's because it's so small. People wouldn't recognise it, would it?
Well, to give you an idea, exactly. It might be hard on camera to see the sort of rise in the ground, because this would have been a lot higher, but obviously over the years it's collapsed a bit. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a rise in the ground. But you've still got you've got a pretty big ditch. So if you think that hasn't been touched in 400 years, then it shows you what size it must have been originally.
Very good point.
Yeah. Do you know I'm walking down into the ditch again? It really is massive.
Actually, I do. Go up there and walk down and it'll give you an idea of the depth of it. So you go up there and walk back down again, yeah. Now, run down really fast.
Try not to fall down, is it?
That's it.
I'm not sure. This would have had a garrison of some sort. This would be O'Connor's hangout. Do you know what I mean? With soldiery and things like that.
It's not a relaxing castle top.
All Irish castles have a thing called a fica around it, a green.
Right.
It's a sanctuary green. All castles and things, public buildings like that, or Irish buildings have a thing that's what we call a fica. It just means a green. For grazing horses and for camping on.
Horses, you say?
Yeah. And people would put their chigging things, their little...
Is it true that Ireland had chariots before the Romans?
Not sure if we had them before the Romans, but certainly at the same time.
Around the same time. I'm pretty certain one of my ancestors sold one to one of the Romans.
Or we were still using them when they...
Oh, they would have been friends with...
There you go, look at this.
Yeah, they would have been friends with your man. What's called Soterios?
Sartorius.
Yeah. Our cousins would know him, wouldn't they?
Oh yes, definitely. He fought with the Spanish.
He fought with the Spanish?
Tribes, the Celtic tribes in Spain.
Celtic tribe. And remember, we say Spanish tribe, Scottish tribe, this tribe. They're still one people.
Oh yeah.
Just
Europe was Celtic in those days. 2,000 years ago, that is.
Alright, I found something for you to examine.
Oh, here?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
What have we uncovered?
No idea. It looks like a bit of a rowing boat, is it? Is it like an oar thing? No, no, it can't be. I have no idea. Any viewer wants to identify this one?
Okay, let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Shows one part first. Exhibit A.
It's in a bit of a state, alright. Could be a hinge thing, could it? And so you've only got a hint of bank. They would have took the earth out of that and put it here.
Do you think a lot
To
of
make a bank, you can still see the back end of it there. Where it
yeah,
drops
yeah,
again.
light
You see what I mean?
scarring.
So you're on the. This would have been much higher.
I can imagine.
Then they put a fence on it.
And if you look at the roots of the trees, they're more very much to the surface.
Yeah.
So they were, they didn't sink.
You know yourself that in the certain parts of Ireland as well, and in Ireland as a whole, and in certain parts of Ireland, you've got the same high statistics, even in the South community. Not the same level, I mean.
Yeah.
But still higher than other places.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well,
It's showing that problem is playing out even in that community.
Absolutely.
To some extent, especially in rural parts of Ireland. And the more closer they are to that Gaelic world,
That's right.
the more the vulnerability to that problem is, if you know what I mean. And the more outside the state they are, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more likely to be marginalised in different ways, you know.
Yeah, even for me, I don't think it's about even Celtic revival.
What have you found?
Well, my friend, this would be what we call the miniature fairy forest.
Oh, yeah.
See all the trees?
Yeah.
I like the way they did to keep most of it intact.
Yeah.
Very useful, smart fairies.
Very
What do you
good.
think of us?
Well, I was just testing you.
All right. I think the two of us might need a bit of testing. I have a good friend called Thomas McCann. Bigfoot. Did you know that?
The same as detective.
Did you know that our people used to believe a lot in mythical creatures, fairies and goblins and leprechauns and everything?
Being used to.
Still do actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a few do actually. Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of timber. I mean, we have to remember that all of the physical, almost all of the physical world of Gaelic Ireland was destroyed on purpose. So almost everything is gone.
And almost the mentality.
Yeah. Because it was targeted for destruction, systematic destruction, you know,
Yeah.
and a methodical erasure of anything that would point us back to that past was engaged in, which is one of the reasons that we're going to these strange sites where have your imagination.
Indeed.
When it comes to this kind of history. Or Gaelic Ireland is going to be an exercise mostly in imagination
Well, believe it or not,
until we
yeah.
reconstruct everything.
Well, look, I said to you, quite an element of that. I think we're very close to unlocking a lot of that, and I think we're smart enough to do it in a way that it doesn't leave it open for misinterpretation for right wingers or fascism or anything like that.
Glad you think so.
Well, I'm pretty certain of it because we can go back as far as we want to go back. Yeah, people said that you can't go back there. I said, yeah, we can. That's exactly where we came from.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that shit.
Well, as long as we're even explaining things. You can't,
Can't control it in one way.
explain things and that shit.
But I'm hoping of our version will just relight Ireland in a very positive way and enrich it with culture.
Oh, yeah.
And in a way, then you can say to the British across the border when you're claiming all year, your athletes.
Everyone is impoverished, no matter what their background is, if they don't have access to the history.
Yeah, and this nonsense too about well, you go back, people did things bad in history, so on. Of course they did. We're not asking people to pay for the sins of their fathers or their grandfathers, not like that. We just want to iron out a couple of things. How simple could it be?
A couple of small points.
That's it. Where's my fucking castles? All right, we'll talk to you soon. And that's it. Wonderful Hazelwood. Dylan, finish it off.
I came to the Hazelwood because the fire was in my head. Is that it?
Brilliant.
Hooked a berry to a thread.
That's quite original. Well done.
Thank you.
We have to go back in time, Dylan, don't we? With no choice in the matter.
No.
Bigfoot. We have to go back in time, Dylan, don't we? With no choice in the matter.
No.
Bigfoot.